Welcome back to Rising Star 2, episode 56. We're nearing the end. We've got 3 of 10 songs recorded for our final album in preparation for our final tour as we go to wrap things up here. But I've got to decide on what the other 7 are going to be. Now, we've already started the process of elimination. We've been trying out a lot of new stuff, and then we just really lucked out on grabbing 2 hits almost back to back after getting nothing for 2+ years besides Her Purpose. So real surprise there, right? We're 2.5 years in and all of a sudden bam we've got 2 more. We do have a little bit in new songs. We've got a little bit before we get to the next 3 shows to try to make kind of whatever the final decision is regarding that, and I'm still not sure what direction I want to go. Part of me really wants to get it right because it's the last time we're going to do it. Part of me is also like, well, come on. I mean, it's really down to the songs we've already recorded being the anchor and already, 98% or 99% of what will sell the album. Everything else is just filler regardless. I've got 1 new song right now. Well, I've got 3 new songs, but 2 of them have a bad attitude right now, so they're actually probably never going to get played. Well, no, they'll have a chance maybe while we're on tour. But anyway, I still need to get them practiced up, don't I? Just in case for down the road in the future. I could worry about that after our 3 gigs in the next week. But what would you say? I need to get it practiced up. I need 1 more song to go with it. And then get those 2 prepped. I guess we've been traveling more, so I suppose it's kind of the core reason why, but we've been having a ton of problems with van lately. It's like, we need to buy a new van, but that's not an option. That should be an option. That really should be an option. There should be 3 or 4 different vans that you can buy, or, tour buses. Well, Madison, what would you say are the 2 new ones that we want to get introduced today as we're playing up in Victoria? Or are we in no, we're in Vancouver. $10K XP, somebody leveled up. What would you say? 0.5. My Heart 0.43. Crush 0.5. We just grabbed our 3rd hit in like 3 episodes. The terrible luck is coming to an end. Well, song number 4 for the album just became incredibly obvious with 3 hits on it. We've got ourselves the type of album that could go like platinum, but I don't know if we have the popularity to make that happen. 3 hits on an album generally does pretty freaking well. That is just wild to me, though, that we've gone so long without anything, right? We went virtually 1.5 years without any new hits, and then in the course of a month we land not 1, not 2, but 3 new ones. The curse is lifted. Double points into playing a single for music and presence, even though I'm not swapping through the equipment. We already know where we're at. It's not that long since I leveled up the last time. And as we return home, there is the park we've busked at so many times. Not anymore. I do need to hit up the garage, though, and make some repairs. 1,300 on the damage. We are in Portland, right here at the Madonna Villa, for the next 2 nights. We're going to need to clear the set list. I think right now the only way that I'm going to be able to determine what to do for the last 6 songs is, one, the 2 that I've written over the last 48 hours, they're not going to be in contention. Obviously, something that's been played will be. The others are just going to be for the tour, for the future. Come on out. This is war. Again, the negative attitudes, they're not going to make it on the album. They have no chance. It's going to be from stuff that's been played at least once or twice before. What I need to do is I need to find the balance. I think What Would You Say can stay. We've played Crush 2-3 times. We can get it out of there. We've played My Heart enough times to know that it's good enough. What I don't really have is a good medium energy. I think either one of these aren't going to make the album. So it's going to come from all this kind of high energy or low energy stuff. And we're going to have to kind of pick our battles a little bit on. I think I wanted to test Trackdown USA still. And I think I'm just going to take all of these kind of lower end, haven't been played much. What I'm going to do is we're going to take the popularity versus the amount of exposure that each of them have had, make that little calculation, and take which one's averaged the best lifetime. Some of them have had bonuses over a time. I don't play them, well, other than accidentally a few times. I don't play them when they have negative attitudes, but I play them when they're neutral or positive. Positive's supposed to be a boost, and it's not a permanent boost. And it may have been played a lot more when it had that boost than it didn't. But I think that's the best way to kind of figure this thing out. So we're going to give one more night to kind of the ones that we had here, other than the few changes we've had at this moment, and then we'll try to pick a fresh set for tomorrow. Well, looky here. Don't threaten me with a good time. Did pretty dang well. 0.12. Not the first time we're going to be doing the just back and forth cross the street here to stay at a hotel for the night. A little cheaper than going back to the house, and it really doesn't do me any good to go back to the house. And at least this way we can get another song written and develop some ideas. It turns out that I have amassed a good amount. I've been going through and over the last few days, and I've got a ways to go. I'm still working on 6s. So, song written, I'm gonna head right back across the street and wrap up our pre-recording sessions. After this, we have no choice. We're going to have to make a decision and put the album together. Of course, 40% of it is a given. It's that last 60% that's a tighter decision. But we're going to work in kind of the opposite direction this time. We're going to start from the lowest popularity stuff, though it has been played, is ready to play, doesn't have the wrong attitude kind of stuff. We have these 4 to kind of begin working with. Ants Marching. We'll get Prefontaine in there. I need to, of course, get the order sorted, but let's go ahead and don't threaten me with a good time. Okay, Prefontaine can slip in right there. We've got 2 slots left open here, and I want to get at least one hit. So I think we can go back to Crush for today. Or we'll do What Would You Say? And Vaporfly. Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time did well once again. Nothing else standing out other than What Would You Say? And we have returned home. We're going to head straight to the studio. We know one that needs to happen. So let's go ahead and get it recorded, and then I will do some research. 17 hours, once again. Of course, we were at 100%, so this isn't changing. At least not at this studio where we're doing all the work. I think the first decision I want to make is the short term. Oh, see, that's an Oregon thing. That's why it was doing well there. We're gonna need to look at, I think, some ideas. History's up here. It's not nationally. It's tyranny. It's pride. It's mainstream, and I've got like nothing in those departments right now, as it all just shifted on us over the last little bit. But peace is up in Oregon. But our big national tour is going to probably start like San Francisco. We'll go through, California, Nevada, maybe Arizona, head off that way on this big national tour. But apathy, evil, mainstream, tech. Gotta hit up Texas, right? It looks like we're gonna make the southern tour, mainstream. I've gone the other direction so many times. IRL, the northern tour. Short example for you is how I was stationed at Fort Knox when I was in the Army. I made the national drive back and forth to home like 4 times during that time. Also, I drum corps tour across North America, West Coast up and down, and then we headed east like through this direction, through the Midwest and through the Northeast, Canada, New York, Washington, D.C. in the end. So, and then straight home after, back to Seattle where we were stationed. So while I've seen a whole lot of the country, been to a lot of the big cities, I have not been to all, and kind of the big pocket that's still on my list. I've been to the state of Arizona, just barely, Hoover Dam, and been in New Mexico, Texas, deep south other than like Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. Well, take that back. Been to more than that. I've been in Oklahoma, I've been in Arkansas, I've been in Tennessee, just not the deep south, not the Gulf area. Buzz, great indicator. However, it's a tricky one. It's a real tricky one. Tracktown USA did not drop away from 3 buzz though, but realistically, I'm going to take this number and this number, get a multiplier, and rank them. We're going to make a nice big cut. It's going to take me some time to do, but let's skip on forward, see what the results are. Math check complete. First thing that stands out to me is not what songs are going to go in the album, but one song that needs to be torn up that's been missed and is actually doing really poorly, and that's Night. Just a 0.43 on 133,000 exposures. That's just that's a bad rate. That's a 0.3. But I've been doing pretty good about picking those up. There are some in the mid 0.4s, the almost half per, which is clearly not great. And from this entire list, only 3 ended up a 1.0 or higher, meaning they're getting a popularity point for every 1,000 audience members. But that's going to cover the next 3 to go on the album. Starting with Tracktown USA. At a 1.33 rate, actually pretty good. Closer to the Edge did stand out. I am a little nervous on this one though. I believe it came out with a popular idea, got played through that period. Now all of a sudden the idea is not popular and it's not doing so well. Too late now. It's got a good ratio. It's still early on in its lifespan. Like I said, ultimately this is kind of filler anyway, so Closer to the Edge makes it on the album. And it looks like our play skill is no longer maxed out. We're going to have to head home for a day or two and do some practice. One day of practice was enough to get us back on top of the play skill for everything. So back to the studio where we continue on our work. And next up is the one that I was kind of hoping wasn't going to make the list because I didn't want to have to say it out loud again. Is it Helena? Is it Helena? I don't know. But it's on the list. An exact 1.0 on the popularity scale, so it is the third and final of those. This one's scaled at 0.98, so very, very, very nearly hit the 1.0 mark. This is why, song number 8 on the album. Another low energy. Hayward Field spent a long time, I think, spent a long time with a positive attitude that it doesn't have now, so I'm guessing it would not test as well today as it did then, which is why I played Hayward Field recently going, hey, it's got some buzz. It had like a buzz of 3. That's slipping away. I don't think it's going to do as well now, but it's got a lifetime ratio that is higher than others. So, song number 9. Kenzie has leveled up. Let's go ahead and take care of that before we get our recording in on song 10. Oh, she's done with stage presence. That's right. We've got stage presence maxed out for Mackenzie. She's got a 90 on writing music and an 84 on play skill. So we're going to get a double in writing music and playing. Back to it. 1 to go. Coming in at a 0.93 is Kuromi, getting the 10th spot on the list. And in honor of the way that the series has gone, and in the way that we've nailed not 1, not 2, but 3 new hits in a month after going 2.5 years with just 1. Even though we've been in this process for almost a good 2-year stretch of, like, since we hit 100 quality, since we entered this phase of the game, it's been a slow burn to have 1 hit and then just go and go and go, rinse and repeat, right, tear up, right, tear up, right, tear up, play them in public just over and over again, and then have 3 back-to-back hits like this. That's a slow burn right there. So we're gonna name this last album of ours Slow Burn. Let's get it out there. Amazingly, 5 low energy songs end up making the cut on this one. 1 medium energy and just 4 high energy songs. That really doesn't matter on what goes public. But as for the requirements, recording quality of 20%, we got a 100 on all. Minimum 10 songs, we have exactly 10. Must contain at least 2 songs of 40 or higher quality. We have 1 of 95. We have 9 out of 100. Due date is July 11th. It's Sunday, May 25th. We're going to stock up on 500 of these for our upcoming tour. And speaking of, time to talk to the manager. We need to book a tour. It's going to be a big one. We'll see how far we get over a 5 to 6 week period playing daily, starting in California, moving across the south, like I said. But after Texas, we're going to start to take a turn up north, cutting through Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, on to wrapping up in New York, if it gets that far. Well, seeing that none of the bands that they want to headline for us, like the biggest I've been able to find is a band out of Milwaukee with a 40. I suppose a band from Salem, a little closer to home, might make a little more sense from that perspective. But that's not going to be selling out arenas. That's not going to sell out arenas at all. In fact, that's quite the opposite compared to what I would normally have us doing. So I think what I'm going to do instead is find an opener who is close to our level, knowing that we're going to take off from them here rather rapidly. And we're going to be our own headliner for a tour. 1 point off of the largest that I've found. But this one strikes a little close to home for me. I used to live in Fresno as a kid, Fragile Part. And you know what? I'm going to stretch this out even further. Let's go to late July. That'll give us enough time on tour to actually get out there and see most of the cities and hopefully make it all the way to New York. I don't know if it'll get us there or not. But that's the album done. Now we do have some new songs that we'll be heading home to practice and prepare for the road, and of course everything. We're going to have to be careful on the road on how we go about things, because if you don't play everything, we're not going to be at home to practice. It's not going to give us that option on the road. We're going to have to be aggressive on changing up the rotation of songs while we travel. That'll be an interesting challenge, but that's going to be for next time. It's going to do it for this episode. I'll do that practice off camera. I'll see you in San Francisco, hopefully, as we begin the tour. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.